let's talk shit about my latest YouTube short that's doing quite well here on YouTube. My name is Kenneth and I teach my 219,000 TikTok followers how to invest, trade stocks if they're interested, and live below their means. And about a year ago, or maybe a little longer than that, I had an idea for one of those conversation videos where you play both people, where the person would be saying, or the number one would be saying, hey, I want to make $20,000 a year from such and such's company's dividend. How many shares would I need? And the other person says, well, the stock price is this price. Hey, you know what? I'm going to keep talking and I'm going to drive everyone nuts. Let's just watch the video and then we'll come back and we'll break it down and I'll explain a little bit of the thinking behind the video. I want to make $20,000 a year from owning stock in McDonald's. How many shares would I need to own? McDonald's dividend is $5.52 a share, so you'd need around 3,700 shares. How much would that cost me? Well, McDonald's stock is $252 a share, so you'd need around $935,000. Wow, that's really helpful. Could you do more of these? Sure, just hit the follow. So a lot of the time people will say, hey, don't feed the trolls. If someone says something mean, just ignore it, move on. But I want to address this video because I think there's an important lesson to be learned here. And after all, this is an education-based channel. I'm here to teach people how to invest, live below their means, trade stocks. And so when I have a video that does that elicits such a response, I want to jump on here and I want to talk about it. And I kind of want to explain the thought process here. Now, we all know how content creators work. Content creators, especially on these platforms, try to elicit a response. That's the general advice when you say, hey, I want to be a content creator, I want to make videos, what do I do, how do I do it? A lot of the time these gurus will say, elicit a response, provoke a fight, piss people off, say something that will trigger people. And I'm a fan of that strategy myself. I'm not a fan of people who do it and base their whole channel off of fear and clickbait. You know, there's a lot of people who come on and they say, this horrible thing is happening, oh no, and the whole video is doom and gloom, and I'm not even sure they believe what they're saying. I think they just go, oh wow, I can make a scary video, terrify a lot of people, get a lot of clicks. I think that has a damaging effect on society at large though. For me, my approach is more like, I'm going to use this as a gateway. I'm going to use it as a way to like open the door, bring people in, and then have them go, oh, the problem with this video, as you saw, it's like 22 seconds long. And in our modern world where we can order something, I ordered something on Prime at 10 a.m. and same day it was delivered at 11:30 a.m. Within an hour and a half of me hitting add to cart and order, it was delivered. We live in a world where we want things immediately and we want things to make immediate sense. And for some people who can't dig a little bit deeper, their immediate response is flight to anger if it doesn't relate to them, appeal to them, or it triggers them in some sort of way. For example, this video, I understand why it elicited such a response. First of all, we're talking about McDonald's, so that's triggering for a lot of people. Some people think it's trash food, they think it's unhealthy, think it's bad for the planet and for our personal health. The stock is very expensive. In the video, which is a year old, it was $252 a share. The dividend is like under 3%. So you need quite a bit of money to buy 3,700 shares to then make $20,000. It's almost $1 million investment. And for some people who I don't want to sound like a jerk here, but lack critical thinking and aren't able to dig a little bit deeper, their immediate thought is, you're elitist, you're out of touch. Who has $1 million? It's going to take me 40 years to pay back my investment through that dividend, which is not the point of dividends, by the way. Dividends are a portion of the company's proceeds as a little bonus for you for being a loyal shareholder. The purpose of a dividend is not to pay back your initial investment. But, you know, I get comments running the gamut of like, you get bad financial advice, which of course no financial advice is given anywhere in that video that you just watched. But, you know, people like to fight. They like to rush to anger. And I feel like I should come and clarify just a little bit on the video and the thought process behind it. And like I said, people always say, hey, don't feed the trolls. Don't engage with them. But this really is an education-based channel. So for some people who fly right to anger, when you reach out to them and you say, hey, here's what I was thinking, they go, hey, you know what? Shut up. I don't care. You're an elitist, blah, 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 and they walk away. Hey, you can't reach everybody. You can't make everybody happy. Flip side, though, Sometimes you start explaining it and they go, oh, my bad, I didn't realize. Thank you. Actually, this is very helpful. So the thought process behind this video was, one, to trigger a response, elicit comments. But when you watch these videos, especially on TikTok, the first time I posted it, it got almost 700,000 views. And there was that loud minority that we call, the loud minority, where it makes you feel like everyone hates you, but it's really just 5 or 6 people or a dozen people. And you look at the views, you look at the likes, you look at the shares, you look at how many new followers you gained, and you go, oh, the majority of the people did get the video. It's just this small segment who immediately flies to anger because they don't get it. Or they don't want to get it, they're not trying to learn, or they just want to be negative in your comments. And like I said, as a content creator, I hate to say it, but we use all of this to boost engagement on our videos. Sometimes I'll even thank trolls for continuing to come back to my video over and over. I'll say like, hey, thanks, you're helping this video get more eyeballs. That's usually when they stop commenting because they don't want you to do well. But really, you do see in the comments people who connect the dots and they look at the video and they start asking the right questions. Even sometimes trolls, in a mean way, will ask the right questions. Like they'll say like $935,000 to make 20 grand a year in dividends, but they'll say it in a mean way. They'll be like, what moron would do that? And I'm like, yes, exactly. You're asking the right question. That's the point of the video. I'm not saying go run out and spend $1 million on McDonald's stock. The whole idea is to spur on a conversation and to get people talking in the comments. And you see it. Sometimes people say, hey, almost $1 million, but I'm only making 20 grand. There's got to be other investments out there that are at a lower price point, maybe have higher dividends. I like this concept of how I can make money through the dividend, but this stock isn't right for me. Yes, that's the idea behind the video, is to encourage people to start thinking actively about this. Or maybe they see the video and they go, I love McDonald's and I want to diversify into some fast food chains that pay a dividend and have good growth. But man, 3,700 shares, I just cannot afford that. Maybe I can afford 37 shares, or maybe I can afford 100 shares. And when I reinvest the dividends and I diversify my holdings, right? It's not just McDonald's, they have a lot of different investments. When I start diversifying my holdings and I start investing in DRIP, dividend reinvesting, compounding, adding to my investments over many, many years, I start to see that you can start small and end up with a large amount. It's that snowball effect that we're always talking about on TikTok and YouTube. You start with whatever you can. If you have 100 shares, if you have 1 share, just start. That's the most important thing. It's not meant to say go dump $1 million into the stock at one time. Most people, myself included, can't afford to do that. That's not the point of the video. It's to illustrate that over long term and long time, you can reap the benefits of compounding. And not only that, but we're not just talking about the dividend here. We're talking about asset appreciation as well. Case in point, the original video over a year ago, the McDonald's was $252 per share. Today it's $285 per share. That's like a 13% gain. And McDonald's is up over 200% in the last decade, which is another thing people love to fight about. They'll love to say, well, Bitcoin, or well, this stock, well, that stock, it's up higher, it's up more. Yes, exactly. Let's talk about a diversified portfolio here. This is never about just buying stock in McDonald's or just buying Bitcoin. It's about a diverse portfolio where you have a lot of growth stocks, you have some dividend stocks, you have some index funds, you're diversified. That's the point of the video, to get people talking, to get people engaged and to learn and look at the situation and go, what can I do here? How can I grow? In addition to, by the way, I went on a little tangent. In addition to McDonald's stock going up 13% in the last year, their dividend went up over 20% in 1 year. It was, let's see, I have it here somewhere in my notes. It was, let's see here. It was $5.52. That was their annual dividend. Now it is $6.68. That's a 20-ish% gain in the dividend in just 1 year. So I hate to say this because my videos aren't financial advice, but if you had purchased McDonald's stock when that video came out, you'd be up 13% and you'd be earning more of a dividend. This is something I just, let me see if I can find my notes here. I was filming another video, and we'll just lump it all in together here. In the video that I posted on TikTok last night, I was going through my dividends, and I saw that I received over $2,800 in dividend payments from the Ford Motor Company. Now, $1,400 of that was from a special one-time dividend. Very rare. It doesn't happen almost ever. So we can push that one to the side. I still earned, I have it written down right here, on March 1st, $327. And that was, I reinvested, so I'm compounding. I reinvested that $327 into Ford stock, and I ended up getting, let's just say 26 and a half additional shares. On June 1st, I got $346. That's because I have more shares earning me more dividends. So 327 in March, in June, 346. And that was able to purchase me, let's just round up and say 29 shares. September 1st, now I'm earning $351. Every dividend is increasing. And again, because Ford stock stayed around $12 per share, another $29, another 29 shares that I earned. The last one that was on December 1st, so just recently, $355 in dividends. And because Ford Motor Company went down, it was 1042 at the time, I was able to get 34 more shares. Now, I'm not saying go run out and buy Ford. I'm just using it, just like McDonald's, as an example to show you what compound investing can do for new investors. But like I said, nowadays, in our instant world, if things don't make immediate sense to people, their reaction is to rush to anger. So my advice, or my hope rather, with this video is that we all step back and pause for a second. When we see a video that doesn't immediately relate to us or immediately make sense to us, instead of flying to anger, let's just step back, like so many of the other people in the comments or who watched the video, who decided that it was worth following me for my content. That they were able to step back and say, hold on a second. How can I make this work? What can I do for me? How can I learn from this video, instead of saying, nobody has that, you're out of touch. All right, everybody. Almost 14 minutes of your life, well, closer to 13. I'll try to edit this video down a little bit. Thanks for watching. Please hit the bell, the subscribe, the notifications, any of the things that you wish to do. And thanks for watching, and have a good day. Bye.